Hello, fellow compatriots, and welcome to the Bionicle Forge podcast. And this is part 13 of this series. So, first, we're going to be talking about news, stuff that's been going on in the Bionicle community, and then, of course, we're going to be talking about updates in the channel. And at the end of this live stream, if you guys have any questions, you are free to ask me. So just keep that in mind. And right now, I am going to be, throughout the way, I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes footage of something that I have been working on in the dark. Going to be showcasing it now. Now, this figure is eventually going to be showcased in LEGO Ideas. So, just a heads up to all of you. I know you can't wait. Now, and the first thing that has happened lately on YouTube, as of late, was this animation called Hello Human. And it is a Bionicle stop motion animation. We can go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So, hold on just a sec. Alright, so let's go ahead, take a look at that. Now, whoop. I am so professional. And Transformer fan gamer Entity X says hi and hello. Now, we're going to be taking a look at this. Oh, no, I don't want to show the news docket. Oh, great. Okay, come on. Can we shrink this? There we go. All right. Now, this is an animation that somebody made, and it's the timings and so forth in this animation is pretty good. And freaking ads, get out of here. We'll just ignore the ads. But the sound is pretty on cue. Now, this animation was made as a school project that Mootroid X Productions has made, as you can see here. But the titling, and no, we do not want. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, let's leave. Frickin'. No, come on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and finish this on the side. Anyways, that is, so the stop motion that you saw was a school project that somebody was working on, and it's pretty well timed. I actually like what the guy did with this, with the animation. It's very on cue with, the sounds of his pet dog, I'm assuming. At least from the sound cues and so forth that were seen in this animation. And on top of that, you know, there is a lot of frames per second, as you can tell by that animation. I mean, it's so smooth the way he's done it. I can probably imagine that it took quite a long time to develop, even though, you know, since it was a school project, he probably had a time limit without benefit of doubt. So to be able to work under pressure while making an animation such as that, taking a clip from the real world and trying to reconfigure it just for an animation is pretty stunning, in my opinion, you know. So, like, all the power to him. He did an excellent job. If you guys want to see more work from him, be sure to go to his channel. At the end of this live stream, I'll probably put the links in the description down below so that you can all check it out. And yeah, now the next thing that has happened lately on YouTube as of late, even though people keep saying that YouTube is dead, at least the BioTuber community. However, that is not necessarily the case. There are plenty of people out there that have been but pretty much alive as of late in the Bionicle community. It's just that it's hard to find content on YouTube. It's very scarce, but there is plenty of people that upload videos at the regular. Some YouTubers even go under the radar because lack of viewership and so forth. So it's not exactly dead. There are still content being produced, just to let you all know, throughout the BioTuber community. Now, this one I am very excited for. Basically, a new patch was released for Bionicle, The Legend of Matanui game. And I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys right now. It is very good. I am happy about this. Basically, this animation, this is a patch that was released. And can we get this ad out of here? I want this ad out of here. Dear Lord. Come on. There we go. So, this is, of course, a trailer of the new patch that was released. So, now there are a lot more playable levels now. It's not as glitchy as before. The game has been fixed up. And it's not as buggy as it used to be. As you can see, the controls are a lot more smoother than it was before. And there are... And even like Bohatu's mask is like back to normal and not having this the preset version that was in the initial release version on Biomedia Project. The people that have worked on this patch is both the Beaver House and Biomedia Project, and on top of that, 10 new playable areas, like I said earlier, and hold on. As you can see, it's very smooth. A good, like, it's very, very well done. I actually like how it is now. It's available now. You're able to go ahead and play the game. I'll be sure to put the links in the description down below. And the mechanics of the game has been polished and fixed along with having a new launcher system. So you don't have to worry about having difficulty like starting it up. It's like an actual like startup system instead of like the in development like startup version of the game. You know, it's actually finalized, it's actually fixed, you know, polished, it works just fine. And on top of that, there are some text in the end of the video that is in the Matoran language. Now, let me see if I can read it. Let me see if I can read it just fine. Without looking at my notes. Let's see how well this goes, ladies and gents. Alright, let me go ahead and open this up. And play it a little bit more. Okay. No, don't glitch out. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let me see if I can read this. They will... arise out of their... Okay, they will arise out of their sleep and fulfill their mission. They will come and Okay, you know, I'm slow at this. I am slow at this. I'm just gonna go ahead and read my text. I am too slow. I sound like a freaking 3-year-old. Nothing wrong with being a 3-year-old. But basically, it says, they will arise out of their sleep, fulfill their mission. They will come and purge out the world of darkness that this infested it. They might need to work more on their actual wording and sentence structure because that did not flow too well. There will be many obstacles on their way out. They shall wake him. The Toa will return. That's what the Matoran language basically said in the end of the video. If you guys want to check it out for yourself, links will be in the description down below at the end of this stream. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I'm very excited for this actual updated version of the game. I think it has a lot of potential, which I'm happy for. And on top of that, I might actually be able to do a actual let's play of that game without needing to worry about things glitching and so forth, which is a good thing. I am actually very happy about that. And on top of that, you know, it's well done. I'm actually like happy with how it came out. And I can't wait to actually play the game in the future. It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to enjoy it. Should be fun to play for everybody, in my opinion. Now, I'm not so sure if there's going to be any more glitches in the future. Since mostly everything seems to be the patch, but since there's only like over like 10 levels that are playable, doesn't mean exactly that all the levels may actually be playable. Since I'm not too sure how many levels are there actually on the game itself, so just the fact that like 10 playable levels are great and all, I'm not too sure about the rest of the game, including like the close to the end of the game itself, where you would probably be battling like, I don't know, the man-ass, or, you know, and become the Toakaita. I'm not too sure about those ending levels over there. It's still questionable, but I mean, we've gone so far as it is in terms of development of that game, so just gonna have to wait and see if it actually is, you know, decent to its own degree. So I can't wait for that. Now, something else that's been happening in the Bionicle community, specifically on BioTube, is Vrano made another has kicked back to it again and made another Bionicle model. Now this model of a figure that he made was actually back in, I believe, 2012. He made the first recreation of it. Now let me go ahead and replay this. Now I believe it was 2012 when he first created this this character, the design. Now this character is Toa Nikila, a Toa of Water, part of Lesovic's team that essentially died. Now this was back in, wait a minute, it wasn't 2012, it was like 2010 or something, wasn't it? Hold on. Oh yeah, it was back in 2012. Okay, never mind. So this model was, hold on, let me get a good image. So this model was basically made back in 2012, and during that year, he was starting to learn a little bit about computer modeling. That's when he first started, you know, working on like computer animation, creating models, and so forth. And during that time, there was a contest being made where you were able to create, you know, your own characters for the Bionicle universe. It was a contest made by Greg Farstein when he was doing the serials for the overall story of Bionicle, and basically this character was accepted to be Nikila. Was one of the winners basically, but the modeling was not of this character wasn't the best. He wanted to give it like a old style retro design, which is why on the feet, let me see if there's a good image of this character's feet. So on the character's feet over here, as you can see, it does have the slicer heads for feet as a way to give it a retro design, like Verano stated. And on top of that, since he was beginning to learn about modeling back in 2012, he wasn't very good at it. At least that was his opinion. And so, as he stated, however, now, looking back on the model, he decided to go ahead and give some tweaks. So, as you can see here, he updated the model. It looks pretty good. I don't know, like, what it looked like before, but he was kind of, like, embarrassed about it, so he did not, of course, showcase it. He probably did back in 2012, but I'm not so sure if the images of that is still available. The only images available back then was the drawing he did of Nikila. However, since he updated the model, he decided to give her a staff and smoothed out the design of the mask itself, and also gave the eyes, making it similar to the eyes from the Miramax movies, based off of the Bionicle movies that was made by Miramax. So it has that basically design basis for like the eye designs. Now it's pretty good all in all. I can't wait to see if he does like any like animations with this figure. It actually looked good, and yes, he gave it a butt. I don't know why he gave it a butt, but he did. So all you Nuva butt lovers out there, you got yourself an admirer, basically. Not to make fun of Rano, but yeah, I don't know why he put the butt on there. I still don't know. It eludes me to this day why even put a butt on a Bionicle character. But hey, Bionicles have butts apparently, so why not? And he even stated that it was a curvy butt, from what I can see from my notes here. Now, there is an animation that a new one came out, is actually a sequel to the BioFormers series that Guillaume Fagila has released, and this one is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's not like good by any means, but it's a little bit better. What I mean by that is the animation is slightly better than the last, but it's still like so-so. And Celtic Film says, "Hi Tribution, been a while, dude." And yes, it has been quite a while. I was planning to actually do the live streams, I was actually planning to do the podcast last week, but I wasn't able to. Now, yet again, we're getting close to, like, the end of the video, when it almost done with the first segment, news. So, you know, if you guys have any, like, questions for the end of the video, be sure to go ahead and think them up right now, and I will answer them at the end of this live stream. Now, now this animation is a little bit better than the last one. Is it better by any means? Yes, there is some improvement, but it is still, kind of, not good. You know, I don't... It's not bad. It could be worse, but it's not good. It is in the medium. I would put it on an okay level. Now, the weird part is about the story-wise of this series of BIOFORMERS that this guy has been making. It took an interesting turn when it comes to Makuta that I am not, like, fully, like, invested in. I might need to, like, see where the story goes, see if it actually works well or not. But Makuta in this series that, what's this guy's name? Gwilla May Fagilla was making, apparently, Makuta is not the main villain of the show, of this series that he is making, which makes no gosh darn sense. He is basically a puppet having his strings pulled by a higher up. We do not know what this mystery villain may be, but Makuta in this series is not the main villain, which baffles me. He's basically like slightly forced and twisted to do to go against his own brother and start this war. Also, speaking about starting a war, and during the dialogue of like this scene between him and the Rudaka lookalike, where's the Rudaka lookalike? I know she's here. I know she's here. Where's Rudaka lookalike? I know. There we go. There's Rudaka lookalike. Because I don't know her name. So I'm just going to call her the Rudaka of G2 or whatever. Basically, they were going back and forth. And apparently in the conversation, a Toa like civil war kind of thing occurred off screen. Now, that would have been interesting to see. It would have been much more interesting than how this video was handled here. Because we will be able to see more like action sequences, probably get some more insight story-wise instead of just a brief a brief mention in the actual dialogue of this animation. Now, another thing is that even if there were action sequences, I'm not too sure if it would be good because he's using more computer animation in this series. I noticed that he's using the computer animation a little bit more, which I don't mind. The models look alright. It's not the best, but in my opinion, if you're going to be having like cartoonish looking designs and so forth in this animation, and now of course it might be kind of like a little bit like Transformers Robots in Disguise or Transformers Prime, how it has the cartoonish designs yet it is in CGI animation. But a good example of like the hand-drawn animation, as we can see here, it's way better than the actual computer animation. Sure, the computer animation is good, and he's trying to stick with one animation primarily in this video, but he still uses a little bit of hand-drawn. Now, of course, computer animation is quicker than hand-drawn animation, but for something in regards to this, especially with the design of the characters themselves, I believe that actual hand-drawn animation will be better suited for the animation as a whole, since it will be reflective of like something like Transformers animated, but due to the design of these characters. Also, another thing as well is, hold on, let me go ahead and shrink. And also another thing is that, alright, let's see. Oh, also, the designs of the characters. I almost forgot to mention that. So, there are some characters that will be probably added in future episodes of the series that he's making. As we can see, there's Umarak the Hunter over here, I'm assuming, and this looks a lot like Kolta, aka Skull Grinder, wearing the infected shadow version of Umarak's mask that came in the Ikimu set back in 2016. So that is interesting to see. Now, there's this other character in the back. It's a new character. Haven't seen him before. And also, there is a winged character in the background over here. Kind of looks a little bit too much like Starscream / Windblade a little bit with the wing design. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about the Rudaka lookalike. It's probably might be Rudaka. I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. And another thing as well is that hold on, let me see here. Okay, so like I said, there was also apparently a Toa uprising. Let me go ahead and correct that. There was actually a Toa uprising. It was not a civil war. It was an uprising that occurred off screen. Wish we were able to see that to get some more insight story-wise instead of just like mentioned briefly in this animation. And speaking about mentioned briefly, the actual dialogue of this animation is not the best. I don't really particularly like Makuta's voice actor, since it's so raspy to the point where it's even so hard to even understand the guy. I know Megatron in Transformers has a kind of like a raspy voice, but this is so raspy to the point where it's like not understandable whatsoever, you know, and it's just like, yeah, no. It's hard to even like understand what the character is saying. Now, the other voice actor in this, the Rudaka lookalike, she did a decent execution in terms of voice acting, but I'm not so sure what to expect from part 3 or episode 3, since this is still episode 1, part 2. So he's basically stretching it out. Not so sure what to expect, since the story is a little iffy. It's a little all over the place. I'm not particularly a big fan of it. Now, in other news, there is this new website that popped out a while back, and it's called Red Star Gaming. They have created a actual game similar to Dungeons and Dragons, if any of you are Dungeons and Dragons fans, and basically it's a game where you know, you can create your own character in this game, and you can go ahead and explore the city of Metro Nui. You know, go around, go on an array of adventures with your teammates and so forth. It seems like a fun game to play, and you can even like do like battles and stuff like that in the game. You know, you have an array of combatants, well, not combatants, an array of abilities that you can do in the game. Like there's an array of battle mechanics and so forth. So that is pretty cool, in my opinion. Now and also in Red Star Gaming, there is also a. Hold on, let me look it up because I did not get the Red Star Gaming. I know I have. Okay, Red Star Gaming, YouTube. Maybe that will work. You're not wrong person. Anyways, these people make a array of different masks and so forth in this animation. Well, not animation. Dear Lord, what am I saying anymore? They make a array of 3D model masks that will eventually become like their own like actual 3D printed mask. There has already been a few masks that has already been 3D printed and made. So expect that coming out in the near future in Shapeways, because I have a feeling that the masks that are being created there will be available to see on Shapeways. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. And also another thing as well is that they're not just only making games in this series, but they're also creating like other content as well. So you got like freaking actual like story writing. So they're going to be making their own like series, like episode series that you can go ahead and watch and see, which is pretty cool. Now there's going to be like on this show that's going to be coming out sometime in the near future. The LJ Johnson is going to be featuring in it, and he's created his own character for this Dungeons and Dragons-esque game. And basically they'll be recording each play session. I'm not too sure how they're going to record it, but something that I would like to see if they are going to be making a series of it is like, as they go ahead and play through the game, there is going to be also some animation of some kind showcasing like what happened in the story, you know, actual like visual storytelling instead of like them describing what is actually occurring in the game. So that would be cool to see. And also another thing as well is that there's going to be like multiple seasons of this series that's going to be coming out as well. So expect that coming out sometime in the... It's available now. The website is open. It's a little bit small. I'll be sure to try to find it and put the links to all their stuff in the description down below. At least their main website. And on top of that, it's going to be like interesting to see, you know, what they do with it. Anyways, that's about it for the news. Couldn't exactly find anything else. since I was short in time. Now, as for updates, now this is going to be very cool to actually talk about, fun to actually talk about. Now, I have been working as well on another, on another thing as well. I've been working on the Batera. I've actually completed it. It is a very cool, very accurate to in the comics. I'm going to be showcasing you now, and I've already got like a 3D mask of the figure from a close friend of mine. Now, this is the model that I basically made, and as you can see here, it's a lot like the actual set. Of course, this doesn't have like the helmet or anything like that. I'm almost done building it. I'm actually making a actual real life model instead of like a computer based model of the Batera. So you're going to be seeing this figure coming out soon on my channel, as well as instructions that will be available for all of you. So this, just a big fan of the Avmatoran upper arms, but yet again, it was in the comics, sadly, so I had to incorporate that. Now, due to its small frame, as you can see here, it actually, doesn't make the arms look too tiny. It actually works pretty well. So expect, like, a actual instructional video on how to build it, and on top of that, you'll actually be able to see this figure in its former glory. Now let me see if I can try to find some images of the Batera, because I got it with the mask on. I have it somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, basically, this is what it's going to look like with the helmet on. The Batera mock that I have made. I'm actually going to be making a real-life model of it. And it's pretty good so far. And you know, the actual helmet, the 3D modeled helmet actually looks very well and very close to the actual design in the comics as well, which I'm very happy about. So, like I said, instructions for this character is going to be coming out sometime in the near future. Since I almost got the figure done, I just had to go ahead and paint some of the parts. And so forth. Again, here's an up close of the head, and it looks very good all in all. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It looked alright without the helmet, but with the helmet on, it actually looks fairly complete. It looks nice. I wish we got this figure when Bionicle was still out. Instead of like getting the stars, we would have gotten like maybe the Batera. Or maybe at least, like, instead of Gresh and the Skrull, maybe have a Batera for one of the actual sets. I don't know, just an option, since this figure is, in fact, you know, not a big set at all. I would say, in real life scale, since I already got most of the body built, I would say it's roughly about as tall as your average Toamata. That's how tall this guy is. He's not that tall, maybe a head taller, but he is still have a very small frame. You know, it's not that big, unlike some previous designs that other people have done of this character. But yeah, I'm very happy with how that figure turned out. And I can't wait to actually do instructional videos of the Batera that I have been making. Now, on other news, I'm making a wooden Kakama. I'm carving a wooden mask of speed carving it out of wood. It's coming out pretty well. Now, you're probably wondering what type of wood I'm going to be using. I have been using pine. I've mostly been using pine wood, which is a very light wood. It's not like dark at all, but I'm planning on actually like staining it so that it actually looks a little bit more like having some brown like highlights all throughout of it. And I might do some tribal like painting designs throughout the figure as well, just so that it can be like, oh hey, look at this. It's it's like very tribal-esque, trying to get that tribal factor in. I might put some electronics in the actual mask. I'm still debating it, since I do want to still keep the original like design of the mask. I don't want to slap a mouth onto it, like I did with the current mask that I wear. I want to actually make it like a kind of like a replica of essentially the set version. Has no mouth. It just has the circle where the mouth would be. Nothing like too fancy. But I might add in a mouth. I might not. You're just gonna have to wait and see in the future. However, my plan is to keep the circle segment of the mouth. So maybe there will be like a two options in one. I'm thinking like having like the actual mouth piece actually be like just look solid at first via magnets, and then when opening the mouth it can also like act as a mouth, but then when closing the mouth it becomes just like your regular kanohi. Nothing, so that it's a win-win situation either way, and essentially just look good instead of looking too like furry-esque like some people say regarding the how that I currently wear, since I did try to replicate something similar to the movies, especially the Miramax films. But I have had a lot of mixed opinions regarding that. Now, another thing as well is I'm going to be working more on stop motion. I'm actually going to be working more on stop motion, so expect some more stop motion in the near future. I'm actually like happy with the stop motion that I'm currently making. Is starting to look pretty good. And another thing as well is that since I am working more on like stop motion stuff like that instead of reviews, hopefully you guys have some interest in that, since that is mostly where most of my viewership goes. So I'm going to be making more animations for you guys, more action sequences, more frames per second. It's going to take longer to develop all this stop motion, but it's going to be good to see the final product once it is done. So I expect to see that in the near future as well. And last but not least, I am also going to be doing some more Let's Plays as well. Now, I know, like, for most of you, Let's Plays isn't primarily, like, something that, like, some of you have interest in, some of you do not have interest in, so I'm trying to go ahead and expand my horizons, and basically to the point where, where everybody can find, like, content they enjoy, because I know, like, some of you like to see the Let's Plays, especially the Transformers Let's Plays. I love Transformers. I'm a big Transformers fan, and be able to play Transformers would be Transformer-related games, and other action-related games would be good all in all. So I would enjoy that quite a bit. Now, of course, that is all for updates. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, Growlock says, I denounce you in the name of Lord IDS. Denounce. Okay. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. Whatever floats your boat. Anyways. We're gonna go ahead and call it end to this live stream. So I hope you all enjoyed. I know it's not even close to like the 1 hour mark, but there's hardly that much to even talk about as of late. And I know from experience, like before I updated this the Bionicle Forge podcast, it used to be just me like building stuff out of like random out of Lego bricks and so forth, but I'm not so sure if you guys will be interested in seeing me doing stuff like that again, which most of the complaints have arisen from was due to the fact that, well, not all of you are interested in seeing me build stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream here. So I hope you all enjoyed, and of course I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.